Welcome, welcome back. Welcome back. I gotta change that. Okay. Goodness gracious me. Good evening, and welcome back to Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. This is Naram Mondays. Oh yes. Naram Mondays, aka PIP Mondays, is brought to you by Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. And this is brought to you every Monday, and it started on May 19th, 2025. Our objective is to firstly prioritize current and future affairs, events, and relevant matters that affect South Central Jamaica and our diaspora. Secondly, with this information highway, we will fast track vital information with the intent to use all available options to get information that's important information to our audience in the shortest possible time. Our third and final objective for NARAMP Mondays, or AKA PIP Mondays, is to assist with the promotion of small businesses, schools, churches, charities, community initiatives, community sports, reggae artists, reggae bands, reggae sound systems, reggae DJs, and many other positive community based organizations and events in South Central Jamaica and our global diaspora. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, we have a packed PIP Mondays for you. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, comment, build this community for us. We thank you in advance for that. And welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And top of the agenda is the ICE raids that has been happening across the country of the United States, and it affects our diaspora and also many of our people in Jamaica. As you know, you may have heard in past podcasts and also on the media that there's approximately 4,000 Jamaican people that are slated to be removed from the country, and we'll see how that pans out over the next few weeks, months, and so on, and over this administration of the President Donald Trump, who's now enforcing the law, and he said law and order, and that's the order of the day. They're also enforcing U.S. immigration rules. So there's a lot going on, guys. So let's first of all touch on the 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 topics of ICE raids, and I'll bring that up to you in just a second as we navigate through this landscape of so much things going on. So let's go over to Attorney McBean. She has been very active in bringing a lot of information to the world about what's going on. And from time to time, I'll touch on her and many others who have been in the media telling you what's going on. So, and I trust her information. So, this is why I go to her all the time. So, here we go.
And in our country this week. Friends, a lot has happened around the country this week. We're going to talk about some of those events, including some breaking news that just came out. Come on in, type in freedom now, freedom now, freedom now. Come on in and say where you're joining from. All right. Excellent. Guys, we are here for you. Our phone number is certainly on the screen here. It's 914-898-9488. And you could also reach us at info@mcbeanlaw.com, where we are in the office every day, Monday through Friday, I should say, between 9 and 6 p.m. But our phone lines are open Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. And then also on Saturday and Sundays from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m., where you can call us to book your appointment. All right. Guys, so much is going on, but the biggest news breaking news, is the fact that Kilmar Abrego Garcia is actually back in the United States. He landed in the United States today. The government quietly worked on a plan over the last several weeks, from what I've been reading, to facilitate the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to the United States. However, he has come back. He has returned to face major charges that the government has against him, including trafficking thousands of migrants in a conspiracy that ABC News is indicating spanned a decade, right? According to ABC News, and I'm just reading the article, which is right on this side of my screen here, that he is back in the United States, and he faces a 2-count indictment, okay, which was filed under seal in federal court in Tennessee last month and unsealed on Friday. It alleges that he participated in a years-long conspiracy to haul undocumented migrants from Texas to the interior of the country. And it further says that the alleged conspiracy spanned nearly a decade and involved the domestic transfer of thousands of non-citizens from Mexico and Central America, including some children, in exchange for thousands of dollars, according to the indictment. So this is big breaking news that, yes, the government did, in fact, facilitated his return, although it took too long, right? Took a very long time, and now they brought him back to face some very serious charges. So that is the very big breaking news that I believe everyone is talking about right now. Come on in, guys, say hello and say freedom now. Today, I'm covering some breaking news in addition to some things that happened this week. It's good to see you. Thank you. Let me know your thoughts below, guys, about the news as I share the information. Share your opinion on what's going on as well. Thank you guys for always.
As you can see, guys, there's a lot going on. There has been over 100,000 ICE raids, and here we go.
This week involving immigration. Friends, it has to do with the fact that ICE has arrested over 100,000 people so far since President Trump took office. In his first 137 days, the administration has arrested over 100,000 people, averaging 730 arrests per day, which is more than double the average under the Biden administration in 2024. And the pace has accelerated, as we have all seen played out this week through various protests in some sanctuary cities, so to speak, like Chicago and New York. And we're going to talk about what happened in those places. But the pace has accelerated with over 2,000 daily arrests recently. And as we've talked about, they have a new mandate. ICE has a new mandate of 3,000 arrests per day. And I've even seen that threats were made to fire senior level ICE agents in various field offices across the country if they do not meet the new quota. And to reach this number, guys, this 3,000 daily arrest target, ICE is using support from DEA and FBI. We've all seen them out there with ICE. And to date, 54,000 people are currently being detained in ICE facilities, which is a record high.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you heard from Attorney McBean, um, they have turned up the heat, and it's only going to get a little bit hotter. They're ramping up the way they go about finding um, illegal immigrants or people who are on deportation, or um, getting people that they deem deportable in their custody, and taking them away quickly out of the country, because it happens quickly. So if you've listened to previous podcasts that are from Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, you'll realize that I said have a contingency plan. Number one, you need to know the name and contact information for an immigration attorney, and in some cases an immigration specialist. This is no joke. Um, as I go along with this podcast show, you will quickly realize that it does not matter how much you protest. However, it may be significant to your case if you protest in a way that goes against the United States or the United States Constitution. It may go against you. So you need to have an attorney, an immigration attorney that you can rely on. And also, you have to put together a contingency plan if you're in any of those categories that fits in the box of deportation. So I'm going to touch a few more minutes on Attorney McBean. Listen carefully, guys, as we switch gears, and I'll go into a few others videos to show you what's going on. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. Here we go.
Of course, we're watching the progression of the big beautiful bill through Congress on the Senate side, which calls for a tremendous, tremendous amount of money to DHS to facilitate the hiring of more agents and doing bigger, much bigger enforcement activities with through ICE and other law enforcement agencies. So the big beautiful bill, that's where the resources will come from to add more jail space or detention facilities. Another along those lines, friends,
What if recording high quality content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star?
through an operation called Operation at Large, which the Independent has reported out on here, and it's also on this side here. It calls for ICE operation calls for 5,000 federal agents and 21,000 National Guard troops to make deportation arrests. Now, the Department of Defense has, from what I'm reading, has not yet agreed to allow 21,000 National Guards to join in these deportation efforts. But as you can see, they are trying to ramp up and pull resources from everywhere, even including 250 law enforcement agents from the IRS to be involved in the coordinated effort to deport more people, to arrest and deport more people. There is a level of desperation, of course, that we're all seeing played out across the country, okay? With regard to the fact that there's this 3,000 a day arrest data per day. And the fact that, guys, remember, if you've really been paying attention, you would have heard me say in a video a while back that during the Biden years in September of 2024, Biden officials testified before Congress and provided a letter to Congress, a congressional committee, outlining the fact that there are over 600,000 criminal aliens in the United States that ICE knows about. And in that letter, it outlined the types of convictions and all of that, and all very, very serious convictions. And so that information was disclosed a very long time ago. And so the question is, well, in the beginning, the Trump administration talked about the fact that they're going to go after criminal aliens, very serious criminal aliens. Why aren't they doing that? There are so many that they purportedly know about. And the Biden officials said, yeah, we know about these individuals. So why aren't they targeting them? Why are they targeting the teenagers, the regular people who are going to check in, people who are actually cooperating with prosecution? They're going to court. They're trying to defend themselves to get a green card in court, yet they're being blindsided by these courthouse arrests. Why are they doing all of that? I think it's because they are desperate now based on the new demands and the new quota that's coming out of the White House, okay? And we saw this played out this week in Chicago, where it's being reported, and I saw a video by an immigration attorney in Chicago who said that her client, along with other people, received text messages from ICE saying, you need to come in and do an early check-in. We want to come in and let's talk about your case. This is a check-in. Many people are checking in with ICE because many people who have a removal order are being monitored by ICE through a check-in process. Even some who do not have a removal order actually might be subjected to this check-in. But for most people, it's an annual check-in. For some others, it's a 6-month check-in. And these are typically individuals who ICE is not seriously worried about, so to speak, like leaving the United States, not leaving the United States, I'm sorry, people who they're not concerned will just go off somewhere and disappear. They're monitoring these individuals. They're low level, not dangerous, usually dangerous, not dangerous people. So they call folks in Chicago saying, come on in, you need a check-in, a routine check-in, but this is early. And then we saw it played out whereby they actually arrested these individuals. They didn't get a chance to go home. And so Chicago had, advocates and some other folks, just random people, I think, also from the streets, were protesting about what was going on at the field office there in Chicago. Those detained had received texts earlier in the week to appear for check-ins. Witnesses say the detainees stopped responding to calls after entering the building, only to be seen later being led into vans by masked agents. All right. And so the arrest triggered swift backlash from Chicago's immigrant advocacy groups and officials, drawing around 50 protesters, including city council members. Remember also that the government is trying to make a point by carrying out certain unorthodox enforcement activities in sanctuary cities, because they want to kind of shake things up in sanctuary cities to show that, hey, if you don't cooperate with us and get into agreement with us, officially get into an agreement with us, we're going to shake some things up and do some unorthodox things like what we're seeing now that had played out in Chicago. Then we saw, this is
Only people with IBS will get this feeling. One day,
This was here in New York. As a matter of fact, I had a consultation with someone earlier this week who was coming from Manhattan and she told me, this is what I saw going on close to where I work in Manhattan. ICE agents were arresting people and there was a protest, and it was really scary. But this individual, she actually has a green card. So here in New York, so just generally, we know that ICE detained over 2,200 people in a single day on Tuesday. On Tuesday, they detained over 2,000 people, and many of those arrested were already part of the Alternatives to Detention program. which monitors low-risk, undocumented immigrants through ankle monitors, phone apps, and regular check-ins. Witnesses and attorneys report that ICE used mass text messages, again, this is New York, to summon individuals for early check-ins, only to arrest them upon arrival. In New York City, families witnessed loved ones, some with children, led away in cuffs by masked officers in unmarked vehicles. New York City, okay? And ICE claims that those who were arrested had final deportation orders, and some attorneys are disputing this. So that's New York, guys. Now, let's see, there's another big issue, another big news happened here in New York. New York City files legal challenge against ICE over the arrest of a Bronx student, a 20-year-old Bronx high school. Well, I don't know how he's still in high school at the age of 20. That's what this is saying in front of me. My colleagues.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's kind of break this down a little bit for those who are just joining in. We're talking about ICE raids across the country, and these ICE raids have been across the entire country, especially in sanctuary states. So those who thought they were okay because you had a check-in with ICE and you had other issues that you were low level, you're hardworking here and you think everything is okay. So nothing is off the table here. When it comes to immigration these days, they're enforcing the law. So if you've broken the law, the immigration law or the laws of the country, of the United States, there's a possibility, a high possibility, that you will be deported. Therefore, you need to know the name and number of an immigration attorney as your contingency plan to see what your options are, and you want to do it ahead of time. So the thing is, with sanctuary states, they don't agree with the federal government regarding illegal immigration or immigrants in general. And that's my opinion. However, because of the new administration, they're now enforcing the law and moving away from that relaxed posture that the previous administration had. And now there's no stone left unturned. So therefore, they're going through everywhere and everywhere. So anywhere and everywhere, they're coming and they're looking for those who they have on the list. And as I said in previous podcasts, that dragnet that comes through, if you are a part of it, and even though you think you're okay, if you have something in the past that is adverse, or you had an infraction of the law, and you're a green card holder, a visa holder, or of some sort, then there's a high possibility, based on your previous actions or your misrepresentations, that you are eligible to be deported, and this happens in a fast track way. So therefore, if they grab you, the federal government has the right to send you to any one of their facilities in the United States, in El Salvador, in Guantanamo, or anywhere in the world. They have them. They have these facilities. And that can become uncomfortable for you because you may not be able to make contact with anyone during that transition period before you're removed to a country that they deem fit for you to be removed to. So that could be your country or some other country. So you got to be prepared, especially if you're in a sanctuary city, as you will see in our next video. I'm going to put up the next video, and then I'm going to comment on that and show you what's really going on. So let's see. Check this out, guys. This is LA, and this is what is going on there right now.
This part of an operation that NBC4 did get confirmation of it appears to be undocumented people working inside of a store here, and that's why they were coming here. Since that time, we've been here for several hours. There have been a bunch of advocates, if you see around, standing in the middle of the street and calling for folks inside not to talk to any of the federal agencies, to know that they have rights. And because of that, we saw a stream of federal agents in what were squad cars and army vehicles and more military vehicles coming in through this way in order to be able to come through here. There was an experience of people getting tear gas, they tell us. We have seen people with watery eyes. A woman that we talked to had to go buy milk at a nearby food truck in order to get it. These were folks that, again, were they were with the folks that were inside, the undocumented folks, and telling them, being advocates for them and saying that they didn't have to talk against the federal agents that were here. It has been a very tense situation. Forgive me if there's a little bit of jitteriness as I walk around to show you what's going on here. This street is now finally clear, but there were tons of people out on the street earlier today. Again, this has been happening for a couple of hours. A store here in downtown Los Angeles, part of a series of raids that have been happening across Southern California, according to sources and the U.S. Attorney for the Central District, who told our NBC4 Conan Nolan about that operation. We'll take you down this street here. The store is just down the way there. If you see that there's a truck there in the middle of the street, that was a person on a megaphone that was telling folks, you don't have to sign anything, you have rights, make sure you know you don't have to do anything like that. We have also spoken to relatives of folks who live, who worked inside this operation, this building, this clothing store. What they tell us is that, yes, their loved ones are undocumented, but we spoke to the son of one who says he's been here for 15 years. He's a tax-paying homeowner here from the community. We spoke to an 18-year-old girl who got the call while she was at school. She was told something's going on where your dad works, and she came down here tearfully, talking about what was happening here, not understanding necessarily, but knowing, and actually had a visual of her father through the window of that store. We're going to move away from this car, but as you see, there's still people lingering here. The activity has then such dissipated, but really tense scenes down here in downtown as this operation was going on. We're going to send it back to you in the studio.
You know, Lolita, before we let you go, we know that there are advocates down there, there are federal agents down there. How about local law enforcement, more specifically the LAPD, and what role, if any, are they playing in all of this?
Great question there, Michael. We have not seen any LAPD officers. We do know that the FBI, I got confirmation that they were also a part of this operation, as they are now assisting Homeland Security in these types of operations. It's only been federal agents that we have seen. We've talked to some store owners when this happened a couple of hours ago. They say that cars that came in, tinted windows, and about 40 to 50 individuals wearing FBI jackets and the like had gone out and were going into a store here that's on the other side of the street over there. It's a clothing store, it appears, that was part of this operation. It appears that they were looking for folks that were undocumented. It is a place that was known, quote, according to the folks that told us about what was going on, that this was a place that hired undocumented people, and that's why it was of this particular operation. But when things escalated, we had people on the street, we had people banging on the door saying, let them out, let us talk to them, that kind of thing, is when we saw the more military units coming in down the street, closing everything off about an hour ago. And then the situation really escalated where...
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see that this new administration is focusing on law and order, and also enforcing the laws that are already on the books. So if you think about it, even though the riots are going on, there's a law that you have to adhere to. So if you want to come here legally, you come through the correct channels and you do the correct thing. However, what you see playing out adds fuel to the fire, because the federal government and the president is not backing down. Now, I'm going to play a few more videos, and you'll understand what I mean when I say the federal government is not backing down. So they're enforcing the law. The president was elected on that mandate, and he's enforcing the law. He's working with the judiciary, that's the courts, and he's letting it play out to show that there must be law and order. So therefore, let's move into another video so that you can understand where I'm coming from, and you'll see quickly what is going on here in the streets. And this is something you do not want to do here in the United States, and that is go against what the government is doing, because you can quickly find yourself on the wrong side of the law, So therefore, let's check this out. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully. This is Naram Promotions, The Real Deal podcast show.
Are in the downtown area for a fourth day of protests as the demonstrations have become more violent.
Anti-ICE demonstrators are clashing with law enforcement and setting vehicles on fire downtown. Other videos show people hurling rocks at law enforcement vehicles from above overpasses. Now, within the last hour, we have confirmed 700 Marines from 29 Palms, California, have been ordered to join the 2,000 National Guardsmen already en route to Los Angeles as a response to that violence. Meantime, California Governor Gavin Newsom is pushing back and urging the Trump administration to reverse the deployment.
Goodness gracious me, you heard it, guys. Let's do this. So, let me stop that. So, you've heard it. They've deployed the National Guard. They've deployed Marines. So things are heating up. So there's no backing down here. There's no place that is now called sanctuary. If you break the law, they're going to find you. It's only a matter of time. So let's think about that. The federal government said they know it's expensive to deport each and every one. That's a given. So what they have done is saying you got to register if you're here illegally. And if you don't, then you're going to be charged X amount per day. And if you don't pay it, if you try to straighten out your situation, that's my understanding. If you then try to straighten out your situation, then you're going to have a bill that you have to pay before that can even happen. And furthermore, if you don't register, then you now get on a deportation list. And that in itself becomes a problem. That's my general understanding. So therefore, if you think that you can sit and wait this out, then you have another thing coming. Because if you go on that deportation list, where are you going to work? How are you going to survive? Are you going to hide in a cave and think that the next administration is going to help you out? We don't know what's going to happen. Who's going to be the next president? And that's 4 years down the road. That's a very long time to be hiding and not working and not paying any bills. Who's going to put you up? Also, if you're caught, then you have to serve time for that money that you owe, or they'll detain you somewhere that maybe no one knows where to find you. So therefore, know the name of an immigration attorney, have their number, have a contingency plan so you can find out right now what your options are so you can make an informed decision, because this is not going to get any better right now. It's going to get far worse. The government of the United States is ramping up their operations to find those who they deem deportable. And in the process, some people who are low level, low line, borderline deportable, or you committed a deportable offense, or you have made an omission, or you have misrepresented, or you have given false information, you're now in the limelight. So therefore, you gotta find a contingency plan, know an immigration attorney, an immigration specialist. I say, get your house in order, because there's no sanctuary for anyone, because they are coming. The federal government will come everywhere. As you have seen in previous videos on this podcast, that they know about 600,000 approximately. They know about those people. And in the dragnet, there comes many more, and they want to ramp up removal procedures to 3,000 a day. So imagine that number. If they're coming to sweep 3,000 people, they have to sweep a lot more, whether you're a citizen, green card holder, visa holder, or you're illegal, or you're borderline. Anywhere in between there, they're going to sweep a certain number of people in order to remove 3,000. So if your situation is not on the up and up, then you need to start seek legal advice, because there's no sanctuary, as according to what I'm seeing, in anywhere in this country that you think that you're safe. There's nowhere. So therefore, ladies and gentlemen, think carefully before you make a decision. Get yourself legal advice so that you can make an informed decision. I cannot emphasize that any more than to say to you, if you think that you can just wing it, it ain't gonna happen. It just ain't gonna happen, guys. So let me get to a gentleman by the name of Stephen Gardner, a great YouTubist. He's gonna give you some information that you need to know. So let's get to it right now.
Angeles, California. Illegal immigrants, as well as those in California that vote deep blue, are burning buildings, burning cars, throwing rocks through policemen's windshields. It is getting really bad. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris says this is the most peaceful protest she's ever seen. Gavin Newsom tells Donald Trump, if you're so disappointed and I'm so guilty, why don't you arrest me? President Trump tells Tom Homan, the border czar, it's time to arrest Gavin Newsom of California. I'm going to be going through all of this and much more. Thank you guys so much for liking and sharing these videos. Let's jump right in. Over the weekend, Los Angeles erupted into a flashpoint of civil unrest as anti-ICE protesters shut down the 101 freeway, blocking traffic in both directions. The demonstration, triggered by heightened federal immigration raids targeting undocumented illegal immigrants, drew hundreds of protesters, some waving foreign flags, screaming at police, screaming at the FBI, screaming at the National Guard and the police. President Trump ordered the National Guard to go in and to be helpful. What happened? Molotov cocktails, Waymo self-driving cars burned to ashes, fighting, gunshots, knives. All kind. The people are so upset. They're robbing Nike and TV stores. It's absolutely out of control. Now, protesters erected makeshift barricades, launched rocks, fireworks, Molotov cocktails, turning the protest violent. Meanwhile, the vice president and the governor saying this is all out of control because of Trump. Now, law enforcement reported over 100 arrests, 44 immigration enforcement operations underway, and dozens of people arrested and in detention. It's really, really bad. And now they're saying that Antifa is showing up. And in fact, there's now a Democrat-led attack plan coming out in San Francisco. The plan later this week is to attack the ICE department in the city of San Francisco. Thousands and thousands of people are descending on California in order to block the removal of illegal immigrants. Now, in response, President Trump took to Truth Social, denouncing the protests as violent insurrectionists as they attack federal agents and declaring Los Angeles invaded and occupied by illegal aliens and criminals. Some are saying that he is about to throw down martial law or invoke the Insurrection Act. As I mentioned, he's already deployed 2,000 National Guard, and there are over 500 Marines ready to go as soon as he signs an order. Now, Pete Hegseth said that the U.S. military would be happy to step in. On the left, they're saying, really? You're about to turn the military against our own people? It all looks really, really bad. If you haven't seen the video footage, I'll be putting it throughout this entire video. Now, Trump also instructed Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, Pete Hegseth, and Pam Bondi of the Attorney General's office to coordinate with local agencies in order to bring order and also to make sure that people pay for the damage that they have done. Now, there's a $50,000 reward for one person who was throwing rocks through the windshield of driving police, driving FBI, driving ICE. Laura Loomer was able to identify the main culprit through a softball jersey that he was wearing. Now, his executive order, which federalized California's National Guard without state approval, mirrors historic intervention by President Dwight Eisenhower in 1957. Gavin Newsom, the governor, quickly condemned this as illegal, immoral, and unconstitutional, that President Trump is interfering with peaceful protests, First Amendment rights, and California's right to govern however they want. However, Trump knows that the summer of love, where Black Lives Matter and Antifa ganged up together in order to destroy billions of dollars of businesses and buildings, he's not going to let that happen again. Now, Gavin Newsom even dared ICE Director Tom Homan and President Trump, come and arrest me. Do it. Get it over with. Arrest me right now. California's legal challenge cites lack of state consent and potential constitutional violations. Now, the ACLU, who fights for illegals more than Americans, is stepping in to sue President Trump, saying this is overreach of government and blocks people's freedom of speech. You kind of lose freedom of speech when you burn cars and throw rocks through people's windshields, but what do I know? So Tom Homan said, every single one of them, no matter what it takes, however long it takes, we will identify you. We will hunt you down. You will be found. Now, stoking further outrage, the president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, gave a speech yesterday where she called for an uprising of Mexican citizens in the United States, citing that now is the time to push back, to rise up. Now, she's saying that this is over taxation, something where if you earn money in America before it goes back to Mexico, it has to be taxed, right? Anytime you earn in America, you get taxed. Well, now she is calling for an uprising. President Trump is furious. Heads of the military are furious. Governors are now slapping Mexico with higher taxation, saying, no, Mexico, you don't tell the United States of America what to do. So Mexico is calling for a coordinated uprising of illegals and legal Mexican Americans to fight back against Trump, ICE, and these new policies. However, President Trump has called for Gavin Newsom to be arrested. Tom Homan said he is very serious and considering the arrest of Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, who is also fighting for these illegal immigrants. Now, I have a lot more to share with you. This is really crazy stuff, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, it is crazy stuff, and it's going to get a lot crazier before law and order prevails. But it will prevail. I guarantee you that with this administration, there's no playing around, so you do not want to be on the wrong side of the law right now. This is not a game. These riots and other countries calling for people in the United States to rise up and revolt, that's a big problem. I think they should keep quiet and wait and allow the government of the United States to handle their business. But when you start to interdict and input your, riling up people when there's a problem going on, there's a law here in the United States, and it's clear. No matter what your thought process is, you got to follow the law. So you got to let it play out. So your opinion does not matter if it's not in line with the law. And the government says law and order must prevail. So it's only a matter of time before you're going to see some serious things happening in the courts after this cools down, because it cannot go on forever. You're going to have you have already the National Guards, you have the FBI, all the different security agencies, you have DHS, Department of Homeland Security, you have also the U.S. Marines getting involved. Goodness gracious me, can you win against all of that? Check it out, law and order. But let's do this. Let me give you another video to show you from a different perspective what is going on here, and I'm going to comment on it to let you know what you should not do and what you must do if you're in a particular category. So let's do this. Let me get the video up here so that you can see that this is no joke. It's a far cry from a joke. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Here we go. So I'm going to share this video with you, and then I'm going to comment on the other side, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Here we go.
Every night, thousands of these parasites stream across the border like some pinata exploded. It's about decent, hardworking Americans falling through the cracks and getting the shaft because their government cares more about the constitutional rights of a bunch of people who aren't even citizens of this country. And this isn't something that's going on far away. This isn't something that's happening places we can't do anything about it. It's happening right here.
Well, this country's becoming a haven for criminals, so what do you expect?
What's up, guys? It's Benny. The moment we saw the riots pop off in LA, we knew that this time around it was going to be different, and so did the AI. The AI perfectly describing what is happening right now as President Trump has deployed thousands of active duty Marines to retake Los Angeles, The battle for Los Angeles is on, and it's long overdue, frankly. Look at these scenes. This isn't somewhere on the front lines of Ukraine. This isn't somewhere in Gaza. This is allegedly inside of the first world American city of LA, but it is indistinguishable from the third world because we've allowed so many third world criminal aliens to come here and destroy it. Always boggles the mind why people would flee Mexico based on an asylum claim, come here, gorge off of our welfare state, attack our police officers and small businesses and Americans, behave like total degenerate criminals and thugs, which they are, and then get upset when we deport them back to of the flag that they are waving. Doesn't make any sense to me. Look at what they were doing to the LAPD cop cars yesterday. Highway State Patrol for California. Either way, California cop cars. This is how Gavin Newsom allows his state's law enforcement to be treated. They just pulled up rocks and hurled them. Look at them hurling giant rocks. You could kill somebody. You really, truly, it's a miracle that somebody wasn't, that an officer wasn't worse injured in this horrible insurrection, which is exactly what it is. Gavin Newsom, knowing it's an insurrection, President Trump called it an insurrection. The back and forth between these two is quite remarkable right now.
Problem are professional agitators. They're insurrectionists. They're bad people. They should be in jail. Thank you.
President Trump saying the insurrectionists should be in jail. Gavin Newsom saying, leave Brittany alone.
Get your hands off these poor people. They're just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes. Been here 10 years. The fear, the horror. The hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me. Let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community. I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up. They need to stop. And we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So, Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
He's saying, Tom Homan, arrest me. Gavin Newsom saying, Tom Homan, arrest me, because Tom Homan saying, I'm going to arrest Democrat politicians that stand in my way. And President Trump giving this expression today at the White House saying, make my day.
He's daring Tom Homan to come and arrest him. Should he do it? I would do it if I were Tom. I think it's great. Gavin likes the publicity, but I think it would be a great thing. He's done a terrible job. Look, I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows. All you have to do is look at the little railroad he's building. It's about 100 times over budget. We're putting a flagpole over there. Under budget. I always do under budget.
Donald Trump saying, yeah, why not? You know what? Hey, sure. I wouldn't mind. Trump says I would arrest Gavin Newsom after California governor dares border czar to cuff him. Border czar. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like a challenge, and the Trump administration is up for that. President Trump unleashed on Gavin Newsom. He's done a terrible job, grossly incompetent. These people are causing problems. They're paid agitators. They're paid insurrectionists. They need to go to jail. Well, the president's administration is taking no time in sending them.
They're coming out. They're coming out. They're coming out. Watch out. Watch out. Fuck you.
That's how you disperse a crowd. Here we go. Want to see some FAFO, the anti-ICE rioter in LA, press law enforcement on stilts and ate it. Look at this. Jeez. Well, that's one way to go down. Jeez. Unbelievable. Gavin Newsom getting really upset because James Wood shared a post from the city getting burned down in 2020. Gavin Newsom thinks it's an own to say this video is from 2020. Can you believe this? Yeah, you've been good at destroying the state for a decade. Thanks a lot for taking the bait. This video is from a different horrific failure of mine. No, this is from a different time when leftist militants were torching police cars, and I sat back and cheered them on. Wow, you really dunked on us, Governor. Good one. Well, no more dunking, ladies and gentlemen. The dunking is over because Northcom has issued a statement. Northern Command is saying, we're sending in the real Marines to fix this problem.
As you can see, things are ramping up, and the military is now involved. This is now a serious issue. So you can run around breaking stores, causing problems. Protesting, there's a way to protest in a peaceful way, but this is not it. Burning cars, throwing rocks, and so on. That's not the way. That when you have other heads of state like Mexico, the head of the government is saying, rise up and cause chaos. I'm wondering if they're really thinking. Goodness gracious me. There is a law here. There's ways to get what you want if it's legal. So no an immigration attorney or no criminal attorneys, if you're in that category, there's law and order here. And law and order will prevail, whether you like it or not, because it's what you call a prisoner's dilemma. We're all in this. So if you have insurrectionists and chaos, nobody benefits. So in the end, there has to be law and order. There's a government. So therefore, if you want to make changes, get involved with politics and then be a part of the House or the Senate or be a president of the United States so that you can influence change, or the judiciary. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a couple more videos before I get into some community news and also other travel bans that went into effect today. So let me play these couple of videos, and we have one here from the President of the United States, and I want to get that on your screen so that you can hear from him. The President of the United States will be speaking to you. Goodness gracious me, I'm telling you, this is NARAM Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and this is NARAM Mondays. You understand? PIP Mondays. So hold on a second, guys. I'm going to get that video on the screen to hear from the President of the United States what is his views on what is going on, because apparently a lot of people don't understand that this ain't gonna work. this burning and rioting is not gonna work, because now you have the military coming out to bring law and order back to the forefront. So here we go. Here we go, guys. Okay. President will be up.
We've had some exciting days in the last week, I would say, mostly good. Some of the things you're reading about in Los Angeles, thank goodness we sent out some wonderful National Guard. They've really helped, and a lot of problems they were having out there. They were afraid to do anything, and we sent out the troops, and they've done a fantastic job. So I want to thank them very much. I also want to thank you for being here as we discuss one of the most exciting parts of the One Big Beautiful Bill. It is indeed a big, beautiful bill, and it's doing very well. The Trump Accounts, as they call it, pilot program, which will make it possible for countless American children to have a strong start in life at no cost to the American taxpayer, absolutely no cost. It's going to have a huge impact. I want to thank House Speaker Mike Johnson for, number one, being a great speaker, And number two, perhaps slightly less important, for being here today. Thank you, Mike. Along with Chairman Jason Smith, who's fantastic, and Representatives French Hill, August Pfluger, Blake Moore, Rob Bresnahan, and Frank Lucas. Thank you all, fellas. Thank you very much. We appreciate it very much. Thanks as well to many top business leaders from Invest America, CEO, Council. It's been a wonderful council. They've come up with some fantastic ideas. We're putting them into use. They're really the greatest business minds we have today. These men and women lead large, successful companies, and they're committed to contributing millions of dollars to the Trump account. And it's really, it's going to be something incredible for children and for their employees in many cases. Here's how the accounts work. For every U.S. citizen born after December 31st, 2024, before January 1st, 2029, the federal government will make a one-time contribution of $1,000 into a tax-deferred account that will track the overall stock market. In other words, it'll be pegged to an index that we'll pick. Right, Michael? We'll pick it. We'll pick a good one. Maybe you should be the index. I'd like to have that. These kids would be very wealthy if that were the case. That would be a good idea. I think we might do that, Michael Dell. These accounts will be private property controlled by the child's guardians, and in many cases, those guardians will be the parents. We think probably the parents will be the guardians. They'll be open for additional private contributions each year from family, friends, parents, employers, churches, private foundations, and more. This is a pro-family initiative that will help millions of Americans harness the strength of our economy to lift up the next generation, and they'll really be getting a big jump on life, especially if we get a little bit lucky with some of the numbers and the economies into the future. In addition to the substantial financial benefits of investing early in life, extensive research shows that children with savings accounts are more likely to graduate high school and college, buy a home, start a business, and are less likely to be incarcerated. Trump accounts will contribute to the lifelong success of millions of newborn babies. They are fully, and this will be very interesting, I think, for everybody to hear, they are fully funded through targeted reforms in the One Big Beautiful Bill, like the $1.7 trillion in mandatory savings, welfare reforms to stop waste and fraud, a 3.5% remittance tax, and more. And it's just a part of that. The One Big Beautiful Bill is among the most important pieces of legislation in our country's history. I don't think there's ever been anything bigger. And I think it's going to go down as certainly one of the most important things we'll ever have done. In addition to the largest tax cuts in the history of our country, including the most powerful border security measures ever, it delivers major economic relief to the American workers' families. And there are so many things. Rebuilding our military, we built it just 8 years ago. We started and did a great job, but now we have to rebuild it again, plus technology change. All of a sudden, it's about drone. We have a new form of warfare. It's drone warfare. So a lot of things change. We did a great job with the military, but now we're going to have to do some little tweaks, to put it mildly. And we'll be doing that, and we have it all nicely funded. I look forward to signing this into law. It's really something that we're having such an opportunity. And I have to say, he's here with us. He's a person that I've admired for a long time. You take a look at what he's done and followed his record. And it's Dell Chairman Michael Dell. He's done such an incredible job. It's as a business person, I study business people, and that's a perfect one to study. It should be almost mandatory reading. So I want to congratulate you on that, and thank you for the idea, because you're the first one that really brought this to my attention. I know that you and your friends have been talking about it for a long time, but other presidents didn't get it done, Michael, right? So we got it done. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Sure. I want to also give some recognition to my friend Brad Gerstner, who helped get us all organized. And
that's right.
And actually,
thank you very much. Good, Brad.
Spearheaded this.
Good. And also we have with us a very powerful man in the world of business, CEO David Solomon of Goldman Sachs. David.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you've heard from the president, there's a lot going on, and we call this the purge, to get out those who are legal and to start making America great again. That's what the picture I'm seeing. I don't know if you're seeing it, but for the long term, what he just announced about every birth since 2024, there's going to be a fund put aside. That's a big deal, because now you're investing in the citizens of the United States. So you got to look at it from a bigger perspective. You got to get your house in order if you want to be a part of this agenda that the president has. He's here as a president for the next four years, and he's just begun. So if you think you can wait out what's going on, they're getting rid of sanctuary cities. They're making it more difficult for you to be here if you're not in line with the law. They're bringing back law and order. They're closing the borders, and then they're announcing the investment with this big, beautiful bill in the United States citizens. So it's going to be a privilege to be a part of this society. It's no longer an open border policy or a relaxed policy where they overlook certain things. You got to be in line with the law. So therefore, you got to think carefully of your next move and make sure that you make an informed decision. Get an attorney and see what your options are to get yourself in order. Because within the next year, there's a timeline on this, and they're moving real fast. So think about it. Think carefully of what they're doing. So let me play one more video, and this has to do with the travel bans. And we go to Attorney McBean for her insights on that. And then we're going to move to some more community news, so that you can, I will comment on that when we move over to the next screen after we hear from Attorney McBean. So ladies and gentlemen, look, you've got to get your house in order. Please, this is no joke. This is not a joke anymore. This is not sitting down on your laurels and say, okay, I can wait this out. It doesn't happen like that. Things have changed, and they will not be the same. I'm thinking forever and ever. Things have changed. Just like when 9/11 happened, things changed forever and ever. And here we go. We have another change here. And let's hear from Attorney McBean, and then I'll get back.
Not hurt you. However, here's where it can hurt you: upon renewal. If you have a visitor visa that expires during a travel ban period, and God knows how long the travel ban will apply against each country, but if your visa expires during the time of a travel ban, then you will not be able to get it renewed. If you already have a visa to come to the United States, the travel ban will not hurt you. However, here's where it can hurt you: upon renewal. If you have a visitor visa that expires during a travel ban period, and God knows how long the travel ban will apply against each country, but if your visa expires during the time of a travel ban, then you will not be able to get it renewed. If you already have a visa to come to the United States.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let me pause that and get that off the screen. Someone is trying to call me, and I'm telling them I'm cutting off the call. I'll call them afterwards. So, what do you understand from that? I need some more clarification. I'll get it for you. Is that every country, or is that countries that are banned? You know. We got to get the details on that from Attorney McBean or other sources to make sure that we understand fully what's going on there. But the travel bans and restrictions are now in effect. So therefore, if you're on the list, then today is the start of it. So get your house in order. All right. So always have an attorney's telephone number, have a contingency plan, or know an immigration specialist. And I'll put my number down here. If you forget or you want to get some answers, I'll point you in the right direction. Okay, so guys, do not procrastinate. Things are heating up, and they will, as you can see, my numbers are down below if you want to contact me. Listen, you've got to get your house in order if there's a problem. There's no if, ands, buts, or maybe. You got to get it done. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and this is Naram Mondays. And we say thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go into the next segment, and that is to jump on to community news and also some other views, okay? Thank you for being here. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's look at some. Now let's touch on a few things here. We have to reschedule Hot Gossip, and that's coming up. So watch your media, like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell, and also remember to share and give us a positive feedback. We also are touching base with Mr. Billings. He has an engineering firm that you need to know about because he fabricates a lot of stuff that is hard to get. And he has a parts store, which we'll be talking about. Miss Roma June Forbes, aka June from Alligator Pond, we're waiting for her to schedule with us a date that she can come on and tell you about the ground game here in the United States, how difficult it is to navigate through all the bills and living here, and also trying to support families and so on overseas, especially in Jamaica. She has been here for many years, and she'll give her story when she's ready. She'll get back to me and give me a date. Mr. Len Blake, who's a politician in Jamaica, also a good friend of mine, a businessman and a philanthropist. We're waiting for a date from him to come on and just give you an overview of South Central Jamaica. Over the years, we served in Kiwanis together, and he's a great guy. So we're waiting for him to give us a date. Mr. Pizza Nita, he has a Chicken Back Festival, a gentleman who was a part of the customs fraternity in Jamaica as a customs officer, and I'm not too sure if he's still a part of the customs system, but he keeps what you call Chicken Back Festival every year, and it's a big deal. He moves it around from different venues in the country, but he'll be at Tara's Place Bar and Lounge. That's Tara's Bar and Lounge in Alligator Pond on August 1st for his Chicken Back and Seafood Festival. I tell you, when chicken back meet the fish them. So, Mr. Pizza Nita, you know, so you have chicken back meat fish, right? So, therefore, he's going to be on here to talk about the Chicken Back Seafood Festival in Alligator Pond District in Manchester over the next few weeks, and give you updates and progress as he moves into full gear of getting that event ready for the South Central of Jamaica in Alligator Pond District in Manchester, Jamaica, the Chicken Back Seafood Festival by Pizza Nita, and I'm telling you, it's going to be a big deal. So also, Kadian Bartley, she also has a few, I'm going to put the posters up, guys. She also has a health fair coming up. She had some tragedy in the family, and we say condolences to the family, and she'll be on here to talk about her business. We talk about Kay's mobile service, and also Kay's by Faith in-home care, and also her event that's coming up real soon. I'm going to put the posters up in a second. We're also going to talk about Miss Michelle Burrell, aka Michelle Burrell. I ain't going to call that the other name. Miss Michelle Burrell, a great motivator. She's given a lot of people of older age and whatever age you are, whether you're young and old and you've fallen out of grace, she's showing you how important it is to invest in your future. She's a motivational speaker now. She's an ambassador for Heart, and she's one of the shining examples of people who in her community and in Jamaica and around the world that it's never over. It's never over until you decide that it's over. You get what I'm saying? So as long as you're alive, you have a second chance. And she will be on here whenever she's ready. She'll contact me and we'll set a date. She's super busy, so we'll get back to her very, very soon. Go back in the previous podcast and you'll see her speaking to young children and other people regarding her journey as coming up through the ages. She's grown 3 great daughters who are professionals right now, shining examples of Sea Air District in Manchester. You got to check that out, okay? And also Mr. Danny Peart of Rental Source in Downs District in Manchester. He's going to be one of your motivators who's going to tell you about the temperature with Mr. Bowles, Mr. Wayne Bowles, and Mr. Bonnie Bowles with A1. They're great friends of mine. They're icons in the community, and they'll be talking about the temperature and the status of South Central Jamaica, how they see it, and what needs to be done in order to make the youths be in a better place in their minds and also a better place in their environment. So listen out for that coming up real soon. Mr. Billy Boy, the Jamaican cowboy, who has given you a different spin to the genre of reggae music in a Western type of genre way. It's a cross between reggae music and Western music. That's Western cowboy kind of North American music. And he's coming up soon. We haven't forgotten Mr. Dragon Force, Sir Dragon himself, with the Mad Squad. We're waiting for DJ Latta to connect with Dragon Force and myself to get his story. He's one of the foundation members of the Sound System fraternity in South Central Jamaica, one of the older guys who has stood up to the test of time. And he's still relevant in this day and age. Where we were talking to Hot Gossip, who was part of the change in the culture of dancehall. And we'll get back to them. Stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. We're also talking to a professor in Queens who is in the food industry, who has helped to revolutionize the food with Grace Kennedy and many other big entities across our region. And he'll be talking to you about what he has done to contribute to the food industry in our diaspora and in our culture. Also, we don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, Naram Promotions, the original family, and we'll be talking from the birthplace of Naram Promotions in Europe, that's in Northwest London, where it was born. People like Colonel, the Talking Colonel, Smiley, Burrow, and all the crew, Stuka and the Massive, they will be on here live to tell you where Naram Promotions is coming from. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell. So let's touch on a few posters because we're getting ready to close the show. We're an hour 19 minutes in, so let's go. So let's bring up a few posters, and I want to talk about this before I bring up the posters. The posters I'm going to put up now are people who are part of the VIP club. So I will mention them from week to week, but for anyone else who wants their posters to be advertised, you got to go to the Mystic Inn in Sear District in Manchester, and there's a purchase requirement. I think it's about 10 US down there, and they'll tell you about it. And then the posters will come to me, and I will advertise them. Certain people are already a part of the VIP club, so I will always mention their events. That's their party events. Other entities like schools, churches, community clubs, sports clubs, or community events are free. I'll deal with that here anytime. Just contact me. You have the numbers scrolling down below. So you can contact me. I'll always put your posters up, or you can go to the Mystic Inn in Sear District in Manchester, and you will always be welcome. So if you don't know what the Mystic Inn looks like, I'll give you a picture of it right now, so you'll know where to go. So always remember, you can go to the Mystic Inn in Sear District in Manchester, and those who are not involved with a VIP club, you go there and you present your poster, and it will be sent to me, and I will then advertise it. Outside of that, only the members of the VIP club that you will see right now after this, who I mentioned, will have unlimited access for me to advertise it, their events, just like schools, churches, community clubs, service clubs, and so on. So therefore, you gotta visit the Mystic Inn. You see it there. You're looking at it, the picture here. That's the Mystic Inn in Sear District in Manchester, or call the numbers below. And you can get in contact with me, and you have to visit there for it to be authenticated and sent up to us. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the VIP family, who are now able to have unlimited access. All right. Let's start with, Mel is a part of the VIP club. Crazy Mondays is going on tonight at Mel's Bar at Ian's Lawn in New Forest District in Manchester. She's a part of the VIP club. So every Monday you can go there and you can enjoy a Monday night, beautiful atmosphere, great vibes. And as you can see, DJ Krabby, DJ Deshaun, and the crew provide beautiful music for you, great atmosphere. It is a great place to be on a Monday night in New Forest District in Manchester. Go there. You won't be disappointed. So it's Crazy Mondays. So she's a part of the VIP club. So go there, guys. Let's see. Another place that's a part of the VIP club is my sister from Sear District, and she's the Right Spot. Misha and the Right Spot Bar. You can't miss it. It's along the main road of Sear District in Manchester. She's a part of the VIP club, guys. And you can go there. It's a great atmosphere. She caters for everybody, and she goes to almost every party, and she's a great social media influencer. So check her out. Sierra District, the Right Spot Bar in Sierra District in Manchester. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful spot. You need to check it out, right? Just like the Mystic Inn, you know what I mean? So she's a part of the VIP club, and you gotta go there. You know, check it out. So we gotta mention another lady who is a part of the VIP club, and she is Lady K. She has her health fair going on July 26th in New Forest District, right by AgriPlus Farm Store. I think that's right in the square close to the gas station. So get your free screening and information on free blood pressure checks, free blood sugar checks, free HIV tests. Doctors also will be doing free back to school medicals, information on New Forest High School. You'll get it right there. You have Sagicor Insurance people will be there. There's a lot going on here, guys. So you want to check it out. And also you have Negasa, is it Nikas Health and Wellness Company. So you need to go there, especially to get yourself checked out. You got things on New Forest High School and Sagicor Insurance. There's a lot more going on there on July 26th. Hats off to Lady K, always working for the community. A beautiful lady, married to Mr. Bartley, and a beautiful family, guys. And she's always looking out for the community. Hats off to her. Congratulations. I'm telling you, this is a big, big deal that you need to know what's going on that day on July 26, 2025. K's Mobile Service Health Fair, and it starts at 9 a.m. So get there and get the information you need. Get your health checked out, and you will be in listen, it's free. If you had something, if your granny had something that you couldn't afford it, or you couldn't get her to the clinic, and you're in the area, bring her to the health fair. If you have your children, your family that needs to get checked out, bring them to the health fair. It's free. You get what I'm saying? It's July 26th, New Forest District in Manchester. And check this out, guys. It's a big, big deal. Lady K does this, and she does it every year. Get what I'm saying? So it's an opportunity for you to get some free service. Trust me, free healthcare service and information that is vital to the younger generation, and also the everybody in that area. And if you're outside the area, I'm sure Lady K will accommodate you and give you the information that you need or point you in the right direction. But get yourself checked out. It's free. Okay? So that's at New Forest District in Manchester, Jamaica, July 26, 2025. It's a health fair. K's Mobile Service Health Fair is going to be a big, big deal. All right? So hats off to Lady K. I'm saying this is a great initiative, and I wish that many others will do the same thing across the globe and across Jamaica. You know, it is a wonderful thing to see a person giving back to the community, and in such a beautiful way. And I'm telling you, it's a big deal. So this is Peter Nita in association with Links Construction and Maintenance Company Limited. On August 1st, he'll be presenting Chicken Back and Seafood Festival on August 1st at Tara Seafood Restaurant and Lounge in Alligator Pond. This is a big, big deal, guys. I just talked about Peter Nita and the Customs fraternity. in Jamaica, and he's gonna give you chicken back, fried chicken back, stewed chicken back, curry chicken back, jerk chicken back, French fried chicken back, country style chicken back, and you have fish, you have fry with bami, and other rice and peas and other, festival yam dumplings and so on. And breakfast start from early, Yeah, man, fine. At 8 o'clock. Breakfast start from early. So you gotta be there, and you don't have to worry about the atmosphere. It's gonna be great. It's Alligator Pond in South Central Jamaica in Manchester, right? This is a big deal. Pete Anita will be on here to talk about it and give you some more information about the sponsors and the history of the event and why it is important for you to be there. This is a big festival, and he's now saying chicken back and seafood. So the fowl meet the fish. yeah. Fowl meet the fish, all right? So congratulations to Pete Anita and the Chicken Back and Seafood Festival. Look out for him, guys. He'll be on here live to tell you more about this, and so you understand the importance of being at Chicken Back and Seafood Festival on August 1st, Tara Seafood and Restaurant, and also Lounge in Alligator Pond District in Manchester. All right, this is a big, big deal. So let's move on to our other VIP member. And remember, Pete Anita is part of the VIP club. That's a big, big deal. You know what I mean? So don't get it twisted. Here's another member of the VIP club. And we got to highlight him because he's going to be on here soon. That's Mr. Billings of Top Rock Bar and Grill in Prospect District in Manchester. He's a part of the VIP club. And we're not going to get to all of the VIP members, but to be a VIP member, you got to visit the Mystic Inn and you'll get the details. All right. He's part of the VIP club, and he's got a lot going on, and you will hear from him very shortly about his fabricating business. Let's put up a poster of some of the things that he does. And I want you to see firsthand what it means to be visiting Top Rock and also the businesses. There's machine shop and welding works. There is the number. He's got a lot going on. He has a auto parts store, and he manufactures a lot of the stuff that you can find easily. So it's very reasonable. He's going to be talking about it, like rack and pinion repair, rubber bushing, making, general machining, disc wheel skimming. Is a lot more safety equipment, bearings and seals, engine oil, mechanical parts, hydraulic fuel. He has a whole lot of stuff that he's going to be talking about that he does. That if you don't know, you're going to know from Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. We're here to let you know that it's extremely important for you to know Billings Machine and Welding Works. It is one of those places in the South that if you run into a roadblock in terms of these things that you need, then you can always call him, and he's always there for you. You see what I'm saying? So check him out, Billings at Top Rock. He's a VIP member of Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and especially Naram Mondays. So we'll always be advertising for him. And he has a couple of stuff that he has going on down there at the Top Rock, because he's always doing stuff. And let's start with one of his signature events, and this is Cool Rock Fridays. You know what I mean? So you can always go there. You can see what's been offered, Worthy Park special, and all sort of stuff that he has going on there. So always check it out. You can. It's in Prospect District in Manchester. Let's check out a few other stuff that he has going on. But on a Friday, you can always go there, and there's something going on, guys. So it's a big deal. So let's check out. This is every Sunday. It's called Classic Sundays at Top Rock. This is one of the places that you want to be on a Sunday with your special someone, or any day of the week. You can go to Top Rock, and it's always kicking there. Also, let's look at a couple. He has another event that I want to highlight here, and so you can see that Top Rock is always kicking, guys, always. And I'll get to that in a second, but let's see if this is the one. Let's see, it's coming up. That's a bingo party. Yeah, this is the bingo party and bingo tournament fundraiser. This is a signature event. The main bingo is $700. It's in aid of Raymond Barnes medical expenses. It's going to be on July 26th. You got to be there to support this big tournament, this domino tournament and bingo party fundraiser among good friends. Okay. It says that domino registration is $1,000 per player. Winning team gets a case of mixed liquor and a bottle of Hennessy. And the tickets, bingo tickets, are $1,500 for a book. Okay. Yeah. And also of 10 games. And the main bingo prize is going to be $700 in cash. Okay. The big money and prizes bingo for Raymond Barnes. So check it out, July 26th. Be there and support this event. It's for a worthy cause. This is why we highlight it. So let's get on to some other events that are going on. These are people who are now in the VIP club. So if you want your parties to be advertised, you gotta go to the Mystic Inn and present your posters. And also there's a small requirement to spend at the Mystic Inn in order to get your posters here on Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. So let's look at this is Candy's a part of the VIP club. She's in Sierra District, Manchester. On August 1st, she has what you call Try Again, second edition. That's Candy Akitree Bar in Sierra District in Galchester, Manchester for tourists. And you've got also Dunrich, the big bad sound, who's going to be there providing the music. So you got to remember, if you're not a part of the VIP club, you got to go to the Mystic Inn, guys, and present your posters. And in order to do that, you got to spend something. So in Sierra District, we also have this trying lady, Trish presents Chill Fridays. That's Friday, June 13th. And you know which Friday that is, right? Goodness gracious me, it's this Friday. She has her bingo party, and it's in Church Lane, Sierra District in Galchester or Manchester. So the bingo starts early, so be there early. Big up Trish and support her event. Okay. So we have a couple more coming who are part of the VIP club, and we're going to highlight them as we go along. So let's go to a good friend of mine. He's a double VIP member. That's Bolo. That's Swamp View Promotions in association with Bolo presents his birthday celebration, a night at the Roxbury. And this is July 25th, 2025. And musical juggling will be by DJ 5 and DJ Kino. The Uptown Movements at Gullyside Bar, Lane Road in New Forest District in Manchester or Galchester, depending on where you're from. So this is South Central Jamaica. If you come to Ian's Lawn from Gutters, you make the left down the lane. That's Gullyside. So big up to Bolo, a double VIP member. And I say hats off to Bolo and this event, July 25th. At Lane Road in New Forest District in Manchester. It's at Gullyside Bar. It's going to be one of those events that is going to be overloaded. It's a great venue, a great location, lots of parking, and also a great atmosphere, great building. I'm telling you, won't regret it. Be there. On July 25th, 2025 is going to be one of those big deal, I'm telling you. Oh yeah. So let's go to another, and as I said, these are VIP members, and Bolo is a double VIP member. So don't get it twisted, guys. If you need to get your stuff advertised here, you gotta go to the Mystic Inn. Here's another double VIP member. And this is Impact. Impact Events presents Fly the Gates. And this is a carnival and foam water party in Junction, on the Junction 2-way in Junction, St. Elizabeth, in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. It's at the City Center Plaza. And this is going to be a big deal. It's June 29th. It's very close, guys. And you got the prices to get in, regular and VIP. It's not a lot to get in. And you've got so much places that tickets are being sold. And I've been told that some places have already sold out. So you got to get on, look at the poster. You got Dimitri's Yardman Gas Station, Impact Multimedia, also Grego's Seafood, Dr. Swift, Ultimate Dining, Chris Fix Technology and Repair, and 876 Apparel and Land Kicks, and a lot more places. So you gotta go get your tickets. It's running out. So I'm not too sure how many tickets are left because it's been in such great demand. It's gonna be a big deal. June 29th, the Junction 2 at City Center Plaza in Junction, St. Elizabeth in South Central Jamaica. So if you're on the island, you do not want to miss this carnival. It's a big carnival. Fly the Gate is it's amazing. It's on the landscape of Jamaica. It's there. It's one of those events that you gotta go. If you're in Jamaica, it's a summer event. It's gonna be one of those big deals. Check it out, guys. Fly the Gate is gonna be big and massive. All right, so let's touch, and also Impact is also a double VIP member. Congratulations for that. You know what I mean? So check it out. Fly the Gate. You know what I mean? Fly the Gate is gonna be one of those events. You gotta go there. You know, it's like you know, I don't know what to compare it to, but it's just huge. It's just one of those things. You gotta go. You know what I mean? So get yourself, you have enough time to get your tickets and go. You know what I mean? So also a double VIP member is Rum for Tea Family. They have on August 3rd at we call it Andia's Weekend Drink Out. Crazy Mondays HQ at Ian Lawn in New Forest District in Manchester. Music by the Big Bad Eagle Force and DJ Skiboo, the Top Gregor. I'm telling you, it's going to be huge. So the Rum for Tea family, they are double VIP members. So you gotta check this out, guys. It's gonna be huge. Believe me, you want to be there. This is the Rum Fatigue crew on August 3rd. It's a Sunday. On this date, you have the Rum Fatigue crew at Crazy Mondays. That's where Crazy Mondays is at Ian's Lawn tonight. That's where they're going to be. And when you leave Andia's weekend, the Sunday night, you have Crazy Monday the following day, so you don't have to leave. Rum Fatigue family will be there, right? Show. Goodness gracious me. So, ladies and gentlemen, double VIP members, and I'm telling you, Eagle Force, DJ Skibo, Rum Fatigue family at Andia's weekend at Crazy Mondays, Ian Lawn, New Forest District in Manchester on August 3rd is going to be one of the biggest deals you can ever go. I'm telling you, big up yourself, Rum Fatigue family. This is a big, big deal, guys. You know, you got to be there. So it's going to be 2 days of fun. Rum Fatigue family and then Mel, Crazy Mondays. You know, you just flow right over. And, you know, you got Airbnbs in the area. You know, you don't have to travel too far. You can walk from the Airbnb to Crazy Mondays hotspot. You know what I mean? Meet the Rum Fatigue crew, and then you won't have a problem. You know what I mean? So it will be very, very well attended. So, you know, let's go back to this event. You know, that's the Rum Fatigue crew. And I have one other event that's for my great friend. I'm going to pull up on the screen right now because I have to mention this. She's also a double VIP member. And let's bring it up on stage. Here we go. This is Lady K presents Cookout with and Friends Link Up. That's June 27th. She's a double VIP member of Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. This is going to be at Misha's Right Spot Bar in Sea Ear District, along Sea Ear Main Road in Manchester. And this is going to be a big, big event. Trust me. Lady K is the same person who's putting on the health fair. Now imagine she's well rooted in the community and around Jamaica and across the globe. So Cookout and Friends Link Up is gonna be off the chain. So you have the top Gregor in South Central Jamaica, the music maestro, DJ Skibo, who's fresh off his Canadian tour, and Little Trouble providing the music. The food is going to be absolutely delicious because it's going to be right there at the Right Spot Bar in Sea Air District at Misha's place. Now, the food, if you know Misha, you know so the food right. Goodness gracious me. And you have to go early. Forget it. Or else you have to wait for the second or third cooking for the night. So this is one of those hot spots. And it's going to be a big, big deal at Misha's Right Spot Bar. Lady K, as nurse, presents her Cookout and Friends Link Up. So, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Lady K. You got to be there on June 27th. It's a couple of weeks away. So, get yourself ready for this big event. Trust me. So, with that said, we say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of this show. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and this is Naram Mondays, PIP Mondays. And you remember what PIP means, right? I hope you do, because somebody's going to win a prize very, very soon. So like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell. So PIP Naram Promotions is at you. Good morning. Naram Promotions is at you.